Today, I'm going to give my honest opinions on owning a Java motorcycle after riding it for over 35,000 kilometers. This machine is my longest traveler companion for most of the destinations I have been to. I have seen the twisty roads of the South Canara, cruised on open roads on the highways, churned miles on calm and yet scary forest roads, had climbed hills, sat for long hours just to watch the sun setting behind the seas. And this machine, hello, welcome to my channel. The machine I'm talking about is Java 42 2.1 2022 edition. In the first place, why did I buy a Java 42 2.1 specifically? There were few important reasons for me to buy Java 42 in 300cc single cylinder segment. The first and foremost was the symmetry. I know the looks are subjective, but I'm a big fan of symmetry in machines. I really like the twin horizontal exhaust on both sides. The exhaust sounded pretty good with a nice grunt. The second one was for me about the design of this bike. Again, I know it's subjective. What captivated me is the new retro look of the bike with blacked out engine, medium to low slung seating, and the 172 kg weight of the bike. The weight distribution was good on this machine. The third one was the performance. The engine is a single cylinder 294cc, which had a nice performance. It was really peppy with strong gearing and good compression ratio. Once the throttle was squeezed, the bike immediately sprang into action, which was really good in neck to neck traffic conditions and on open roads. The fourth point was on the maneuverability. For me, this was one of the priority as the city traffic was already high when I purchased, and I knew this machine is going to be the main ride. I usually don't feel comfortable driving the car in bumper to bumper traffic, so flicking and rolling this 300cc machine on the tight spaces was like a breeze. It had ample torque with good wheelbase size to compensate and a nice ground clearance as well. The fifth one was the braking. The machine had 27-ish Nm of torque and 27 bhp with a moderate 11:1 compression ratio. This setup really worked in the traffic, and whenever there was sudden stopping required, the braking setup was good at its best and had done its job very well. There are pros and cons which comes along with this machine, which I started noticing after purchasing for 1.5 year later. Coming to the part of the pros, the performance, the ride of this machine is really good. I had traveled hundreds of kilometers on a single day, and the engine performance is still good with ample of smooth power transmission, even after engine is hot but not overheated. A small niggle which I found while riding on long distances is that the the brakes of start to develop soft braking. This machine can cruise smoothly on highways at 90 to 100 kilometers for a longer stretch without overheating, as this has liquid cooling setup. The only disadvantage is the wind blast at this speed, and there are no accessories available like big windscreens. The only genuine accessory I find is a bit useful is accessory of a small fly screen. It is available at Java SD showrooms. You can purchase. I really enjoyed the rides on this machine, and I'm 5 feet 11 inch tall. For me, the handlebars are wide and the seating arrangement is almost upright, with a bit of cramped leg space, which is a perfect setup for me. The stretched out Cruiser stance, leg position is not for my liking as I feel less control over the motorcycle and the braking. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of electronics on motorcycles except for crucial features like dual channel ABS and traction control. This machine comes with dual channel ABS and traction control is not provided. What I feel a good feature should have been included is a cruise control. This would have been a good setup for long rides on open roads and highways. I know I'm expecting more for a sub 2 lakh 300cc motorcycle, but yeah, why not as an added accessory? And coming to the parts of the cons, the first con what I noticed was the you know parking of this vehicle. This Java 42 2.1 comes with side stand and center stand is not even in the accessories list. During few of my longer solo rides on the hills, I couldn't able to park the machine at all as there was no center stand unless I find a optimum flat surface. This is a big downside. I didn't wish to opt for a retrofitted center stand which can be bought in aftermarket as I always consider side stand and center stands are the structural stability part of the machine and I don't mess up with the stability and safety of the motorcycle. Never. And the second was the twin horizontal exhaust. The side parking stand is almost cramped up near the left exhaust. While parking and the flicking the side stand, the heels or the leg hits and scrapes in no time, and the exhaust gets damaged. The exhausts on both sides are low slung, which got scraped on the bottom on most occasions while moving on the big speed bumps. Third is the accessories. The genuine accessories for these bikes, for this brand especially, are very limited. To nil, I can say, are not in the stock. Even most of the aftermarket accessories are not best suitable for these bikes, like shock absorbers, performance exhaust, yada yada. The fourth con is the maintenance. Even though this is a 300cc single cylinder engine, and the maintenance of this bike is pretty high, and the service center charges unnecessary prices. For a general service like fluid change and regular item replacement like gasket, chain cleaning, and lubing, the charges are around 3300. Oh wait, plus additional GST. Other spares and parts are expensive too, like chain sprocket, which costs 5,000 rupees, fly screen 1500, chain cleaning and chain lubing costs 900. Oh wait, plus additional GST. Where can I buy where I can buy a Motul or a Shell branded cleaner and lube combo for 600 and use it for 2 to 3 times? The service interval too is pretty short considering this is a 2022 model and we are in 2025. For every 5,000 to 6,000 kilometers, the service has to be done. Technically, I regularly drive on an average of 35 kilometers to and from office and weekend ride of 300 kilometers and a ride of 1,500 kilometers once in a month or once in a 2 months. I have to service this machine 4 to 5 times a year and not as Java claims to be like twice a year. Yeah, the maintenance cost is pretty high on this machine for a 300cc class. The fifth part is the aftermarket service and availability of spares. Most of the roadside service centers doesn't want to service my Java 42 because spares and parts are not available in the aftermarket for them to procure and service Java branded bikes. And over and above, if any aftermarket accessory is installed, the warranty will be void I mostly keep this machine stock without adding a boatload of accessories except for quick wireless Bobo charger and a USB charging socket. I usually start my journey in the night and the stock halogen headlamp is pretty weak in throwing the light for visibility. Couple of months back I had installed a Mad Dog fog lights. I'm not sure what happened or what went wrong after riding for around 1 month. The coil had burnt and I had to spend almost 10,000 rupees for the replacement and for the general service. And the chain sprocket started giving me trouble at around 30,000 kilometers. Yeah, this was the chain sprocket was really good. I mean, worked for me very well on most of the occasions. Coming to the part of the rideability, the rear suspension of this machine is a big letdown. It's so stiff that the bumps and tail bumps start hurting after riding more than a hour and grows on till the ride ends. The suspension really works well on the highways with a good road, but then the hard seat factor starts irritating a lot. The suspension constantly tosses me whenever I hit a bad patch of the road. I couldn't able to find a good suspension setup for this bike yet. And my conclusions are considering the cons are more compared to the pros. Now I'm feeling it's good time to move on and consider buying another bike for my regular adventures and tours. Had I started disliking this bike? No. Had I started comparing the other brands and models with different capabilities with my machine? Not at all. Is it a buyer's remorse? No. Had I stopped enjoying the rides on this machine? No. But I started to feel I need more power, more torque, need some ability to ride on patchy roads, have a good suspension, can ride for a longer hours without hurting my back, and finally with the increased service intervals. My final thoughts are like, would I consider buying this Java or SD branded machines? Literally, I loved Java. I love this brand. Yes, definitely. If most of the cons are worked upon and classic legends listen to their user base rather than competing with the market leaders and bringing new machine year on year with incremental upgrades on only on the electronics without not even considering the actual persisting issues of the existing machine. I'm a motorcycle enthusiast and a solo traveler. I've seen many places and many more to explore. Please subscribe to my channel so that you can be a part of that journey as well. See you in the next adventure.